Hi Hellions, and welcome back to once again another Warframe build. Now today, we are going to be looking at one of our first javelin guns, spear guns in our little series called the Ferrox. Now the Ferrox is has two primary modes, one of which you shoot it. It's a charge, and it shoots out a massive bolt of puncture damage, and it's crit based, so you can definitely make this into some highly damaging stuff. Now, its charge is not the greatest, but it comes with innate punch through. So 1.5, so it will always go through the first one, and it has half a chance to go through the second one. So it has it has a 100% chance. You got three enemies in front of you. Okay, you're right here. You got three dudes. You got these dudes right here. You always have a 100% chance to go through the other one. You have a 50% chance to go through the second one, and your bullet won't go through any further than that unless you put punch through on it. Okay, that's what punch through does. Allows you to go through stuff. Trigger is charged, so you have to left click and hold, or whatever your fire button is. So we turned it into primary. Its secondary alternative is a throw. It does status chance, and it does moderately good damage. And once you throw it and it hits, it will actually draw in other enemies to it, and over time electrocute them. Not for a whole lot, but it does suck them all in and group them up for a nice ass beating. But the unfortunate part is, and the reason why I do not recommend throwing it, is because, one, though it does do good damage, you cannot fire it again without picking it up or waiting 20 seconds for it to return to your hand automatically. The other problem with it is that it doesn't do AoE damage. Once you hit it with one, you can either aim it to the ground, and it'll do jack tits to anything around it except for drawing them in and slowly electrocuting them. Or you can aim it at one dude, hopefully hit him in the head, and it'll be stuck on him if you don't kill him right out. It'll ragdoll them and pin them to whatever till they get deaded or they get back up, whichever the case. But the throw on it isn't really that great. So we're going to be focusing on its charge today. Now, serration, basic mod, you'll find the damage before you find the normal version. Mandatory. Heavy caliber. Heavy caliber is going to be kind of a double-edged sword on this build. Normally I would say mandatory, because though it is a corrupt mod and you will find it in the vaults of the Delirict, which you'll need to find vault hunting parties and have one dragon key of every type each to do that. But that aside, it lowers the accuracy, and while accuracy really doesn't mean a whole lot to most guns, to this one it does, which is very unfortunate. What it will do, okay, you cannot snipe with this gun. You can, but you have a 1 in 5 chance of actually going a straight dead on target, because its accuracy it gets annihilated quite badly by the heavy caliber. So you kind of have to be point blank range almost, or at least within 2 or 3 meters of them to actually get a full straight on shot. But if you want to snipe with this, I don't recommend it. I would actually recommend replacing heavy caliber with I don't know, vigilante armaments, hammer shot, any of the other status and voltage mods, element mods, or even the other base element mods. You can do that, or even a riven mod, or any of the 120% mods, something of that effect. But if you don't mind being up close and personal like I do, I like to be that way. When I'm fighting an enemy, the heavy caliber is actually pretty decent. The sniping would be better for when you want to throw. The throw is better for sniping than anything else, but the problem is you have to go retrieve it. or else wait 20 seconds for it to come back with you. That's the one problem with the Ferrox. The one innate problem that you really can't change about it. It has to be patched or reworked by DE, the makers of the game, for it to not be that useless on the throw. But that aside, split chamber, mandatory, I think, because of the primary. We're focused around the primary. It does not affect the throw, but it does affect the primary because it shoots. It's basically a rail gun on a stick. This is basically a rail gun on a stick. Bladed rounds. This is an Acolyte mod. You should be able to buy it from others for about 20 to 30 plat, somewhere in there. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when you kill someone and you get a headshot on your next kill, that you already got a bonus 120 from the base vital sense and point strike, and the extra 120 from the previous kill on a headshot, you're gonna definitely be doing at least 50,000 crits average. You're gonna be doing some pretty heavy damage. Infected clip and cryo rounds, primed cryo rounds. If you don't have the primed, which you get from borrow key tier, you can use the normal variant. Infected clip. This gives viral, but you can switch it between the other two to give, or where the hell did the other one go? There it is, Stormbringer. To get magnetic, to get blast, or to get viral. Not too bad. So, that being said, we're going to go and try this little sucker out. This was actually requested by a friend of mine. Wanted to see a really good build on the Ferrox. The unfortunate part is that I do believe it is a 4-forma build. It is a 4-forma build. You kind of have to put a little bit of work onto it to make it really, really shine. But once you get done spit polishing this bitch, boy does it shine. So let's go test this sucker out. Not Darvo.
Listen, I have a little job for you. Interested?
No, I'm not interested. Piss off. Alrighty, this is what it looks like. This is what it fires like. You have to shoot it. It's not that accurate, unfortunately. The reload is decent, and the throw is pretty good, but you can't use it again until you have to go and retrieve it, which is the shitty part about it. But it does have a little bit of an arc on it. I've always wondered what happens if I throw it all the way out into oblivion. Well, I guess now we get to wait 20 seconds. Because now I don't have that Ferrox. Oh, never mind. It came back. Alrighty. Let's go and test this sucker out with this. Let's go try in 2, because we have the bladed rounds. I want to see how much one versus the other does. Pause the AI. Do this. Eeny, meeny, miny, frick it. Let's do this and simulate. Simulate the stimulate. Now again, this doesn't have good accuracy, so we're going to get a little bit close as my Helios decides to knock them the hell over on their ass. Beautiful. So, 2 shots without the bladed rounds and 1 shot with them. That was about that was 140,000 crit on there. That is really decent. I like that. Let's try a 150. Now, remember, 150 enemies are something you'll encounter about like an hour or an hour and a half to 2 hours into a survival. And this thing's already 1 shot. Doing 19,000. Oh, that was 152,000. 30,000. That was 141,000. Absolutely destroying them. Absolutely destroying them. So let's go and use that. No. Give me this. Settings. Give me this. Give me 90 on that. Simulate. Let's go and see what this sucker does. Now, just for clarification, this is what it does when you throw it. See, it drags them in. And then you gotta go and collect it. Helios, would you quit knocking them on their ass? Okay, 2 shots that one. 2 shots you, too. And no, I'm using viral damage. This thing, viral is not meant for frickin'... what is it called? Grenier. Though it does help because when it procs, it lowers their maximum health. That includes armor. So viral's really good, usually. Not 400. I wish. Okay, let's try 150. Boom. Doodle. Damn it! Helios, stop knocking them on their ass. Irritating little shit. Okay, this thing, apparently, for some reason, does 0 shit of bound damage to this thing. I can't even get a crit past 5,000. Let's try a rhino. Almost. Oh, that one missed even point blank range. There we go. Okay, now we got that. Rhino Roar and Blade of Rounds. Let's see what we can do now. Oh, that'll help. Oh, damn it, I missed. So about 5 shots on a 150 Heavy Grenier. The problem is, though, is that you have to get a kill in order to get that Blade of Rounds going when you're at that level of Grenier. Otherwise, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage. So, that's that. Let's try it going against some Corpus and see what we can do. In Corpus, we're just going to go straight up to 150. We're not even going to piss with changing the level. Alright, boop cadoos. 3 shot. 2 shot. That was 157,000 crit. The Ferrox is absolutely badass. Probably the most... Technically, this is considered a rifle because it uses rifle mods. And it is the most strongest... Probably, so far, the strongest rifle, semi-automatic rifle I've come across thus far. This thing shoots out, at level 150s, 150,000 crits. That's pretty damn decent. That's pretty damn decent. So... I do not use Riven mods in any of my builds because of how random they are, and what I would get would be damn near impossible to imitate down to the decimal, or decimal, whichever one. I get them all confused. Anyway, something to do about dots. Anyway, so, but if you were to get a Riven mod, you could replace the heavy caliber, but you would need damage on it mandatory. Get a Riven mod on it, I would suggest damage. I would suggest fire rate, definitely. And as for multi-shot, I wouldn't really care much for multi-shot. I would actually get crit chance or crit damage or some based element. Some base element or base damage, base puncture. If you're going to do a base damage, do puncture, not slash or impact. This thing doesn't do well with those two. Get impact, or puncture, get puncture, damn it. Or one of the 4 base elements. So your +3 is going to be damage, fire rate, and not reload rate. You want fire rate so you can charge this thing faster. Or, and do crit chance or crit damage. If you want damage, flat damage, and both crit multiplier and chance, do it that way. Or do damage, fire rate, and crit damage or crit multiplier, whichever. And as for your drawback, you could have the reload rate down, you could have the accuracy even more fricked up if you wanted to. Of course, if you use heavy caliber replaced by the Riven, the drawback on the accuracy probably wouldn't be as bad. So, but whichever the case, you get the point. That would be my suggestions of it. So, but anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. At 100 subs, I will be doing a giveaway of prime parts or prime sets on the game of Warframe. I will be making a special video for that when we do hit 1 Hellion strong, 100 Hellions strong in our little family. Share with all your friends, spread the word, and all that. So, but anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I will see all of you in the next one. Toodles!